item, after all that, item number 3, citizens to be heard. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that want to talk about the rezoning. We're going to let y'all talk when we get to that topic, and there's a section in there where we take public comments for that. We'll do that at that time. I've got Paul Tucker that wants to talk about water billing, and then I've got Matt Morgan.
Sorry, rezoning.
You're rezoning, not a problem. Okay, so you'll be in that group. All right, Mr. Tucker, you have the floor.
From right here, or do you want me to?
Whatever your preference.
Okay. So I'm trying to get some clarity on how the water billing is calculated. And so I went to Mrs. Maria Brooks, who is the utility coordinator, and you would think she would have the answers, because when she led me to a spreadsheet, pointed me to a spreadsheet on the city site that shows what the rates for resident, well, shows all kinds of things. The part I'm interested in is residential in-district rates. And she showed me where that was, what it used to be, what the increase was, what the current is. When I run the math on that, I'm being overcharged 50% as far as I can tell for the water portion of my bill. So as you probably know, there's the top line of water, then there's sewage, and then there's other stuff. So just the water part shows the amount of gallons you use. When I calculate that, I should have, last month when I had 14,000 gallons, I should have paid 49 or 71.64. And I showed her my method of calculation, and she said, yeah, that's what she understood. And yet I was charged 107.36, which is a 50% overcharge. So I asked her if she could explain that. She said she has no idea, and that she has been asking for clarification and explanation as to how billing is done from, I don't know who in the city department. She told me the department, but I don't remember what department it was. And so I said, well, I'll come to city council and see if I can help you get the answers you need so that you can help me get the answers I need. And she said, thank you, that might be helpful. So I just don't understand why, first of all, in 2 months, she said she's been waiting 2 months. She submitted a ticket, and in 2 months, she's gotten no response. So why cannot she get an answer from her own government about her own city government about that would help her do her job so that she can answer my questions? And then, I mean, at this point, I'm not even going to insist that I know that I'm being overcharged, because I don't understand apparently how it's being calculated. It looks like I'm being overcharged. Maybe I'm not. If I'm not, I want somebody to explain how I'm not, and so does she. So that's the basic issue, is what can you do to get her the answers that she needs so that she can give me the answers that I need so that I can know if my billing is accurate.
Avi, can you take that? Okay. Do you want him to follow up with you like tomorrow or something? Okay. Javi's our interim city administrator.
Okay.
You can work directly with him, and we'll escalate it wherever we need to escalate it to get you the answers.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, doke. We're going to move on to the consent agenda. Sorry, I'm having a... Oh, there it is. Oh, I was using the arrows. All right. So the consent agenda, we have the minutes from the January 8th City Council meeting, financials for the month of November, financials for the month of December, and the fourth quarter 2025 investment report.
I make a motion to consent the agenda.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Now we're going to move on to item 5, presentations. We have a presentation from Armstrong Barn Associates regarding the 2025 audit.
Thank you, Mayor Castle. I promise I'll be brief, but it is really exciting to hear everybody here for the audit presentation. There's a one-page tucked in there that I'm going to run through real briefly, but as you said, my name is Bill Vaughn from Armstrong Barn Associates. We're the independent CPA firm that you hired to audit the city's annual report. So you have that annual report. The goal is that when you give it to the public or your creditors, they know that a third party is certified it. So we've done our due diligence, and we agree that this report's accurate. So it's a clean opinion, which means this is right. While we're doing that, if we come across anything that you could be doing better or that you're doing inappropriate in terms of a compliance perspective, we'll bring that to you as a finding. We didn't have anything to really report to you except the fact that this last year needed a little bit more cleanup than usual. A lot of that relates to your bank reconciliations and the software. We've had some turnover this last year, and so it's been a little bit difficult to get that ironed out. And I know that Jennifer's mentioned that she has bucks coming, and they're going to try to help make sure that it's running appropriately. So just something that you want to keep on your radar over the next few months to kind of make sure you get that ironed out working smoothly. Aside from that, there are some numbers in there just to give you a little bit of highlights. In the general fund, your revenues were down because you had a large ISD permit the year before that obviously didn't repeat. But some of the costs from that permit are hitting in that last year from your company that does the plan review and inspections. So your costs were up. You also had the PD building that you were working on this last year. So you did dip into your reserves in the general fund this last year, about what you expected in your budget. And it got you to 1.6 million in your general fund. That's what you're allowed to carry forward from the new year to offset whatever projects or to have a cushion in your reserves. So most people will ask, is that a good number or a bad number? And the best way to tell is to compare it to your operating budget. And so it's about 58% of your operating budget, that 1.6 million. That's a healthy number, except for the fact that half of that is dependent upon an IOU from your utility fund. And your utility fund is not in as good a position. So just below that, you'll see your utility fund where your revenues were up quite a bit for 2025 because of the new rates. And your costs didn't increase as much. So you decreased the loss that you've been experiencing in the utility fund, but you did still have a loss. And so the utility fund is in an illiquid position. You know, it's tied up in its infrastructure. It doesn't have the cash to repay the general fund right now. So if you take the two together, your general fund and your utility fund, you have about 18% of your operating budget in reserves for the two of them. So it's a little tight. So the reserves are getting smaller and smaller, but hopefully the rates, as they continue, will help close that gap. I know you increased taxes for this new year as well. And then just below that has your other fund balances with the MDD, street maintenance, hotel tax, and the drainage bonds that are still there. But that's just my highlights that you have to answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Before we go into item 6, I'm going to read this. The City Council for the City of Vernia reserves the right to adjourn into executive session at any time during the course of this meeting to discuss any of the matters listed above as authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, deliberations about real property, 551.073, deliberations about gifts and donations, 551.074, personnel matters, 551.076, deliberations about security devices, and 551.087, economic development, and any other provisions of the Texas law that permit a governmental body to discuss a matter in closed executive session. That being said, we are going to convene to have a quick meeting with our attorney, and we're also going to discuss some real property. So y'all can all stay here. We're going to step out for a little bit to do our thing, and then we'll come back. And when we get back, we're going to dive right into item number 6. It is 6:40, and we are adjourning into executive session. Thank you.